Hey guys, Panzer J back here in Operation Thunderball. We are up to turn number 7.1, Germany and Nationalist Spain, July of 1939. So a little bit of housekeeping before I get into turn 7 here, and it's going to be quite a long turn. So hopefully no mistakes, but there's a lot going on, so the potential is there, but hopefully not. Okay, so quick housekeeping. In Spain, I think I was thinking of version 3, because I think in version 3, once the Civil War ends, you're able to reconfigure the forces in Spain. But Silk was able to clarify the forces stay where they're at the end of the turn that the Spanish Civil War ends. But now Germany is able to non-combat move units around in Spain in subsequent turns starting now. So I moved all the units that I had moved around back to the territories they were at the end of the Spanish Civil War. And then one other thing I had forgotten was Spain does get a recruitment roll. Now, the only territories that are included in the recruitment roll are in Spain itself. So all of the overseas territories, the islands and the territories in Africa don't count, just the 6 territories in Spain itself. And one of the guys rolled for me and it was a 4. So I chose an infantry and that was placed in Madrid. So that was the little bit of housekeeping. So on to Germany 7.1. So we have our 4 tech rolls, and this is the turn where we can start advancing past stage 2. So we are going to go for advanced mechs, which is at stage 2, a 7 or higher. Improved factories at stage 2, 7 or higher. Airborne doctrine stage 2, 7 or higher. And long-range aircraft stage 2, 8 or higher. So let's go ahead first with advanced mechs. And that went right off. Next one. We got a 7, so we succeeded there. Improved factories. An 11, we succeeded there. Airborne doctrine. A 1, we missed that. And long-range aircraft is an 8. And a 10. So we got 3 out of 4. So let's go ahead and move advanced mechs up to stage 3. Improve factories up to stage 3. And long-range aircraft up to stage 3. So 3 out of 4. So pretty good there. Okay, so on to purchases. So Germany has 25 IPP to spend, and we're spending all of it. So we're going to go ahead and purchase 4 infantry for 12, a paratrooper for 3, that's 15, an air transport for 8, that's 23. We're going to upgrade the militia in East Germany for 2, that's our 25, and then we get our free infantry for winning the Spanish Civil War. Okay, so on to attack. So Germany is officially declaring war on France, Belgium, Switzerland, and Poland, and the United Kingdom. So 5 declarations of war have went out. So we got a bunch of attacks. So let's go first. Attack is going to be in Belgium. So in Belgium, there are 4 infantry. Okay. And this is going to be a little difficult moving stuff around, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So going into Belgium, we've got from Western Germany, we've got 3 infantry, 4 self-propelled artillery, 4 light armor, and 2 medium armor are going into Belgium. And then if we succeed in Belgium, battle number 2 is going to be here in Picardy. Hambone has 2 militia, an infantry, and a motorized. And what will be going into Picardy is all the units that can blitz, which would be the light armor, medium armor, and the self-propelled artillery. And we are also using our Blitzkrieg special ability. So, in essence, we get to do combat, non-combat twice. And any units that can blitz on both the first and the second impulse. Okay, the third battle is going to be here in Switzerland. So the Swiss have 3 infantry and a militia. It is mountainous. So we're going to go in there with a mountain infantry, 4 regular infantry, 4 medium armor, 2 light armor, 2 self-propelled artillery, 4 fighters, and a tactical bomber. The one fighter is going to come down from West Germany and go 1-2. Everything else is coming out of Bavaria. So that's battle number 3. Battle number 4 is in Sea Zone A12. So we're taking on that Polish torpedo boat destroyer with a coastal defense ship and 2 torpedo boat destroyers. Battle 5 is in West Poland. So we're going to have 2 infantry come down from Königsberg. We're going to have 4 infantry, a medium bomber, and 2 cavalry come over from East Germany. Battle 6 is going to be in Donetsk. The Poles have 2 infantry. Germany's going in with 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and a cavalry. Battle number 7 is going to be in Alsace-Lorraine. So all the units, now this will be the second impulse. So all the units that went into Switzerland are going to go into Alsace-Lorraine. And I've been in touch with Hambone. He's going to scramble both his fighters to defend Alsace-Lorraine. Since we're going into Alsace-Lorraine through Switzerland, we go around the Maginot Line, so we don't have to suffer that penalty. So right now, Alsace-Lorraine has 3 infantry, 3 militia, and then the 2 fighters. So, again, going into Alsace-Lorraine, since it's a second impulse, even the ground units from Switzerland can make it in. The infantry class 1s, assuming they survive. Battle 8 is going to be whatever units, if Alsace-Lorraine does fall, whatever units that are able to blitz are then going to blitz down into southern France. And the units that are possibly available for blitzing are going to be the light and medium armor, the self-propelled artillery, and the fighters and the tactical bomber. Battle 9 is going to be in Normandy. So after blitzing into Picardy on Impulse 1, Impulse 2, my armor and our self-propelled artillery will roll into Normandy. And then battle number 10 is going to be blitzing into Aquitaine, any units that survive. Battle 11 is going to be down in Sea Zone A53. We're going to have our 2 subs that are over here in I3 come over 1, 2, 3, and both of those subs are going to go ahead and convoy raid the British there. Battle number 12 is going to be in Sea Zone A27. Our coastal sub will go ahead and convoy raid the British there. And finally, Battle 13 is going to be in Warsaw. So again, assuming West Poland and Donetsk fall, all of those remaining units are going to go into Warsaw, including the medium bomber as well. Okay, so those are going to be our 13 combats. So let's go ahead and get to it. So, and bear with me, like I said, I've got a handheld, my phone in one hand, and going to try to maneuver everything else around with the other. So battle number 1 was here in Belgium. So they have 4 infantry, and we have got 4 self-propelled artillery, okay, 4 light armor, 2 medium armor, and 3 infantry. So we're going to get a first strike. I'm not crossing a river, no terrain modifiers. So we get our 4 rolls with our self-propelled artillery. So these are 3 or less here at first strike. So let's see what we got here. 4 rolls at 3. And we get no hits. How wonderful. A 10, 2 10s, a 12, and a 6. Okay. So now we've got, how about our 4 light armor? And let me double check what they attack at, because I forgot offhand. Light armor attacks at a 3. Okay, so we got 4 rolls at a 3 again with our light armor. 2 10s, a 2, and a 9. So we got 1 hit. So they're down to 3 infantry. Okay, then we've got our 2 medium armor at 6. And a 3 and an 8, 1 more hit. And then we've got 3 infantry at 2s. And no hit, so we really stunk it up here. Okay, so now the Belgians with 4 rolls at a 4. A 1, a 2, a 7, and a 10. So I'll lose 2 infantry. Okay, on to round 2. So our 4 self-propelled artillery at 4s. 2 1s, a 7, and a 12. There's our last 2 hits. Why couldn't we get those on round 1? How about our 4 light armor? 1 more hit. And our 2 medium armor. No hits. Okay, so we got 3 and we only needed 2. So now there are 2 4s. An 11 and a 5 both miss. So we take Belgium. So Belgium falls. Now the infantry has to stay behind in Belgium. Okay. So let's take that off. So that is 2 IPP. I go up for Belgium. I'm going to keep track of that on one of my die here. Okay, so we went up 2. Okay, so now the units that can blitz are blitzing into Picardy. And that is the 4 self-propelled artillery, the 4 light armor, and the 2 medium armor. So let's go ahead and get these guys. So we've got 1, 2 militia, an infantry, and a motorized in battle number 2. Okay, and there again, there's no terrain modifiers. So let's go ahead. We've got our 4 rolls first strike at our self-propelled with our self-propelled artillery. So 4 3s, 3 6s, and a 5, all missed. Great. Okay, 4 light armor at 3. Wow. 2 8 10 and 12, so 1 hit, they'll lose a militia. And 2 medium armor at 6s. 3 and a 9, 1 more hit, so they'll lose their second militia. Okay, so there are 2 militia at 2s, a 1 and a 7. I'm going to lose a light armor. Okay, the motorized infantry is also a 2. 11 misses, and the infantry is a 4. And a 4 hit, so we'll lose another light armor, so how great. Okay, so we've got our 4 self-propelled artillery at 3. A 1, 3, and 2 8, so those are our last 2 hits. But let's roll our 2 remaining light armor at 3. 1 more hit, and then our 2 medium armor at 6s. 2 more hits. So we got about 5 hits, and we only needed 2. Okay, so his motorized at a 2. A 6 misses, and his infantry at a 4. An 8 misses. Okay, so we end up taking Picardy. So there are 4 self-propelled artillery. 2 medium armor. And 2 light armor in Picardy. And that was worth another $1. So we're up to 3. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is going to be our killed pile over there. Okay, so battle number 3 is in Switzerland. So they've got 3 infantry and a militia. So we are going in with everything that's in Bavaria minus the air transport and the paratrooper. So that's 4 medium armor, 4 infantry, a mountain infantry, 2 self-propelled artillery, 2 light armor, a tactical, 3 fighters, and then the 4th fighter from West Germany is going to go 1-2. Okay, so we've got 2 first strike artillery. So let's roll those. So 2 at a 3. And we got a 3 and a 6. So they'll lose the militia, so they're down to 3 infantry. Okay, so we've got, how about, we've got 4 fighters. So 4 6s. And we got 1 hit, a 4. So they're down to 2 infantry. We also have 4 medium armor at 6. And there's 4 hits. So we're up to 5 hits, and they only had 3 units left. We'll do the tactical bomber to 7. 2 hits, excuse me. So now we're up to, what, 6 hits, and we only needed 3. So I'm not going to roll out everything else. We're more than double our hits. Okay, so they've got 3 rolls at a 4. Oh, my God. 3 hits. So we're going to lose 3 infantry. That was horrible. Okay, so we're going to lose the 3 regular infantry. And Switzerland falls, and that's worth $1. So we're up to 4. Okay, our 4th battle is in C-Zone A12. So we've got a coastal defense ship at a 6 and 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 2s against 1 torpedo boat destroyer. So let's go ahead with our coastal defense ship at a 6. A 2 does hit. We'll roll our 2 coastal defense ships. And no hits there. But we got the 1 hit. Okay, the Polish torpedo boat destroyer. A 12 misses. So we go ahead and take out that Polish torpedo boat destroyer. Okay. Battle number 5 in West Poland. So we do have some terrain going on here. So the Poles have 3 infantry and a cavalry. The 2 infantry coming down from Königsberg have to cross a river, so they're going to be 1s. These 4 infantry coming over from East Germany do not suffer that penalty. Neither do the 2 cavalry from East Germany and the medium bomber. Okay, so this is battle number 5. Okay, so we've got a medium bomber at a 7 and a 12 misses. Then we've got 2 cavalry at 3s, a 7 and a 9 miss. Then we've got 4 infantry at 2s. A 2, 7, 4, and 12, so 1 hit. And then we got 2 infantry at 1s. And a 9 and a 5. So they got 1, we got 1 hit. So they're going to lose their cavalry. So their cavalry in return at a 2. A 7 misses. And then they got 3 4s with their infantry. And a 3, 11, and 12. So we each lost 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll take off their cavalry, and we'll lose 1 of our infantry. Okay, so now the 1 remaining infantry from Königsberg doesn't suffer the river penalty now that we're on to round 2. Okay, so we've got our medium bomber at a 7, and a 3 does hit, so we're looking for 2 more hits. Our 2 cavalry at 3, 9 and 12 both miss, and then we've got a total of 5 infantry at 2s. A 1, 3 6s, and a 9. So 2 hits altogether. So they're going to be down to 1 infantry. So they're 3 4s in return. 2 more hits. Okay, so they're down to 1 infantry. And we just lost 2 more. So we're suffering quite a few casualties here. Okay, so on to round number 3. We've got our medium bomber, 12 misses, 2 cavalry at 3. There's a 2 and a 6, so there's a hit, and then we got 3 infantry at 2s. Another hit. So we got 2 hits, and we only needed 1. Okay, so they're 4 in return, and 8 misses. So we take West Poland, which is worth $1, so we'll put up another $1 there. And we take that with 3 infantry, a medium bomber, and 2 cavalry. Okay, battle number 6 is down here in Donislavsky. So the Poles have 2 infantry. I have a cavalry, 2 infantry, and 2 artillery going in. And there's no terrain modifiers there. Okay, so we get 2 first strikes with our 2s, or with our artillery. So these are 2 3s and a 1 and 11. So we kill off 1 of their infantry already. So they're down to 1 infantry. Okay, so then the cavalry's a 3, and the 2 infantry pair up with the artillery to make them 3 as well. So we got 3 3s. And there's a 1, a 12, and 11. So that's our second hit. So they get 1 4 in return, and an 8 misses. So Donislavsky falls. That's not worth anything. But that now falls with 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and a cavalry. Okay. And I think that is it for the first impulse, but I'm going to have to do these 2 naval battles now because naval units aren't part of the second impulse. So let me just double check over the board here and make sure everything else is ground units. Okay, so everything else is good. Everything else should be the second impulse. So let's go ahead over here first and do these 2 subs. So the 2 subs in I3 are going to come 1, 2, 3, and they're going to convoy raid the British there in A53, and that's a maximum of 3 on that line. So let me just look real quick at the... So for modifiers, I get +2 for the subs. And right now, the British don't have any modifiers right now. They don't have an escort ship in the sea zone. They don't have aircraft on map, and they don't have radar anti-submarine warfare. So I just get a straight up +2. Okay, so let's go ahead. The German black here with a cross, and the British in red. So the first sub, 5 to 4, so there's 1 damage. And then the second sub, 4 to 1, so 3. So it's a total of 4 damage. So it can only be, it only can suffer 3. So I did the full 3 on that C zone. Then up here in C zone A27, I just have a coastal sub. So that only gets me a +1, I believe. I believe coastal subs only get a +1. So, again, Hambone doesn't have any defense modifiers. So I get just a +1. So let's go ahead and roll that. Again, black is German, red is the British. And 5 to 4. So nothing there. So that coastal sub probably is going to die without doing anything. Okay, so that takes care of that. So we did 3 damage down around Africa and nothing in the Atlantic. Okay, so now on to the second impulse. Okay, so first we're going to do Alsace-Lorraine here. So in Alsace-Lorraine, Hambone has 3 infantry. Okay. 3 militia. And he's going to scramble both his fighters. So we are going in. So remember, we took Switzerland. So everything's coming from Switzerland. So we've got 1 infantry, 1 mountain infantry, 4 medium armor, 2 light armor, 2 self-propelled artillery, and a total of 4 fighters and a tactical bomber. Okay, so that's what we have going into Alsace-Lorraine. Again, no terrain modifiers. And on this first round of combat, any casualties our fighters inflict, they gotta come off aircraft. Okay, so I've got 2 self-propelled artillery. So I'm going to get 2 first strikes at a 3. So let's go ahead with that. So 2 3s, 2 5s. Wonderful. Okay, so no hits there. Okay, so we've got 4 medium armor at 6s. A 1, an 11, an 8, and a 12. So just 1 hit. So Hambone would lose a militia. Okay, so then we've got 2 light armor at 3s. 7 and a 9, they both miss. We've got a mountain infantry and a regular infantry, both at, well, actually, they could pair up with the self-propelled artillery, I believe. So they should both be 3s. So let's roll 2 3s for the 2 infantry class units. And a 4 and 11, regardless, they missed. How wonderful. Okay, so we got 4 fighters at 6, and Hambone's going to have to take aircraft for casualties. So 4 6s, and we got 4 hits. 2 1s, a 4, and a 6. So he's going to lose his 2 fighters and his 2 remaining militia. And then I've got a tactical bomber at a 7 and a 3 hits, target select, but it doesn't matter, he's only got infantry left. So he loses an infantry. Okay, so Hambone has 3 militia at 2s, and a 6, 7, and a 4, they miss. He's got 3 infantry at 4s, a 9, 12, and an 8, they all miss. Now this is where I really need high numbers. Okay, he's got 2 6s with his fighters, and 11 and a 1, so we lose 1 fighter. I guess not horrible. Okay, so let's take off. We're going to lose our 1 fighter. So Hambone's left with 2 infantry in Alsace-Lorraine. Okay, so on to round number 2. So we've got our 2 self-propelled artillery, and we've got the 2 infantry paired up with them. So that's 4 3s. A 1, 2 5s, and a 9. So 1 hit. He's down to 1 infantry. Okay, we got our 4 medium armor at 6s. And we got 4 hits. So we definitely finished him off. So I'm not going to roll anything else. Okay, so his 2 infantry at 4s. An 8 and a 4. So 1 hit. So I'm going to lose my regular infantry. Okay, so Alsace-Lorraine falls. That's worth 3, so we're up to 8. Okay, the mountain infantry has to stay behind. And then we're going into southern France. So in southern France, the aircraft went 1, so they can definitely reach southern France. We've got 4 medium armor, which can blitz. So can the self-propelled artillery and the light armor. So those units will blitz, and the 3 fighters and the 1 tactical will pair up with the 4 medium armor to be able to blitz as well. Okay, so Hambone has an artillery and a mountain infantry. Okay, so he has a first strike with his artillery. So let's go ahead. And does artillery defend at a 3? I think it's a 3. Yep, okay, a 3. Okay, so he gets a roll at a 3, and a 5 misses. Okay, so now on to my combat rolls. So we've got our 4 medium armor at 6s, And there's a 1, 2, and an 8. One of the dice fell out. Okay, so this is the fourth. Well, those are our 2 hits, but this is the 4th medium armor. A 6 does hit. So there's 3 hits right there. Let's just roll 3 fighters at 6s. There's 1 more hit. So we're up to 4 hits. I'm not going to roll anything else. We got our 2. Okay, so his artillery already fired. So his mountain infantry at a 4. And a 3 does hit. So we're going to lose. We'll lose a light armor. Okay. So the light armor, one of those dies. So that's worth another $1. So we're up to 9. And Alsace-Lorraine falls with 1 light armor, 4 medium armor, 2 self-propelled artillery, and then our 4 fighters and our 1 tactical. Okay. Okay, so on to battle number 9. So we're going into Normandy from Picardy. So we've got, let's see, what do we have? We've got 2 medium armor. Okay, 2 medium armor, 2 light armor, and 4 self-propelled artillery. And Hambone just has a motorized infantry there. Okay, so let's go. We got 4 artillery at first strike. So 4 3s. No hits. Okay, so on to our 2 medium armor at 6s. A 10 and 8 both miss. And our 2 light armor at 3s. 1, there you go. 1 hit. Wow. Okay, his motorized in return at a 2, and an 11 misses. So, Normandy has now fallen, and that is worth 1. So we're up to 10, which I don't have another die, so let me grab another die real quick. Okay, so we're up to 10. So that falls to 2 light armor, 2 medium armor, and 4 self-propelled artillery. So they're now going to blitz into Aquitaine. And it does look like we have to cross. You know what? I had to cross a river to get to Normandy. So, but I rolled a 1. So even with all my units being -1 on the attack, I rolled a 1 for that medium armor. It would have only actually been a 2 on that first round, but I still got the 1 hit. Okay, so we should be good to go in Normandy. Now on to Aquitaine. We do have to cross a river again. So Aquitaine, Hambone has an infantry and a militia. So we've got the same units blitzing down. The 4 self-propelled artillery, the 2 light armor, and the 2 medium armor. So the artillery doesn't suffer the -1 because of crossing the river. So we've got 4 rolls at a 3 for our artillery. And these guys can't hit for nothing. They all miss. Now we've got 2 medium armor, which are just 5s because of the river. A 3 and an 8, so 1 hit. And then our 2 light armor are 2s. And 2 misses. Okay, so he would lose the militia, which defends at a 2. A 9 misses, and then his infantry at a 4. And an 8 misses. So he is down to just his militia. And we now don't have to suffer the river penalty. Okay, so 4 rolls for artillery at 3s. And we get a 3, 2 8s, and a 7. How about our 2 medium armor at 6s? There's 2 more hits. So we're up to 3 hits. He only had the infantry left, so the infantry at a 4. A 4 does hit. Okay, so we're going to lose a light armor. So Aquitaine falls to 4 self-propelled artillery, 2 medium armor, 1 light armor. Okay, and with that, we have surrounded Paris. So the French will now surrender. So Aquitaine was worth 1. So that would be up to 11. Okay, and then Paris, we're going to take all these guys off. And Paris is worth 3. So that is up to 14 now. Okay. 14. Okay, so now we're going into the last attack, thank God. We are going into Warsaw. So the Poles have 2 militia, 2 infantry, a cavalry, and a fighter. Okay, so there's a few things going on here. So the first thing is my forces coming from West Poland have to cross a river. So we've got 3 infantry coming over from there. They're going to be 1s on the first round. Our 2 cavalry coming from West Poland are going to be 2s. Our medium bomber is not affected, so that's a 7. And then from Donislavsky, the 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and a cavalry. They're not affected. They're not crossing a river. Okay. So let's go ahead. We have 2 artillery attacking at a 3. So we get 2 first strikes at a 3. Man, my artillery sucks. Both misses. Okay, so now we've got our medium bomber at a 7 and a 4 hits. So the Poles will lose a militia. Okay, so now we've got from Donislavsky, which again doesn't suffer any river penalty. We had 2 infantry and a cavalry along with the 2 artillery. So I'm going to pair those 2 infantry with the 2 artillery. So they'll become 3s, and the cavalry is a 3. So I got 3 rolls at a 3. No hits. Okay, and then from West Poland, we had 2 cavalry, which have to suffer the river penalty, so they're 2s. 3 and 11. And then we had 3 infantry, which are 1s. Wow. So we got 1 hit on the first round. That is neat. Okay, so the Poles, they have 2 militia at 2s. 3 and a 7 both miss. They have a cavalry at a 2. 12 misses. They have 2 infantry, which they're in a city. So I believe they go up to 5s. So 2 5s, a 5 and an 8, so 1 hit. And then their fighter, and if this gets a hit, I got to lose my plane. Ah! Okay, so I suffered 2 hits. So I'm going to lose an infantry and my medium bomber. Okay, so that sucked big time. Okay, so we're down to, let's see, 4 infantry, 3 cavalry, and 2 artillery against a cavalry, a militia, 2 infantry, and a fighter. Okay, so now no more river penalty, thank God. So we're going to go with, so we've got 3 cavalry. So 3 cavalry at 3s. 4, 7, and 6. How about our 2 artillery at 3s? Wow, 2 12s. Okay, and then we've got 4 infantry, 2 of which are paired with the artillery at 3. There's a 2 and a 10, 1 hit, and then 2 at 2s. Wow, 1 hit. So they'll lose their other militia. Okay, so they've got a militia and a cavalry at 2. 3 and a 5, they both miss. They've got 2 infantry at 5s. A 3 and a 12, 1 hit. And then a fighter at a 6. 6 hits. So we got to lose 2 more infantry. This battle is not going good. Okay, so we got to get some hits here. Okay, so we've got 3 cavalry at 3s. 9, 8, and 7 all miss. Okay, and then we got 2 artillery and 4 infantry at 3s. 1 hit. Okay, they'll lose their cavalry. Okay, their cavalry at a 2. 7 misses. Their 2 infantry at 5s. 2 8s miss. And their fighter at a 6. And that went out. Oh my God. An 8 misses. So, whew. So we didn't suffer any casualties that round. So they lose their cavalry. Okay, so on to, I think we're on to round 4. Okay, so we've got our 3 cavalry at 3. 1 hit. So they lose an infantry. And then we've got 2 artillery and 2 infantry at 3s. Oh, that was a 3. So 2 hits. There's another 3. Okay, so they'll lose their 2 infantry. Their 2 infantry at 5s. An 8 and a 2, so 1 hit, so I'll lose an infantry. And the fighter at a 6. 7 misses. So let's take off their 2 infantry. And we'll take off 1 more infantry for us. Okay, so they're down to just a fighter. Okay. So we've got our 3 cavalry at 3. No hits. And then we've got 2 artillery and an infantry at 3. 1 hit. So that was it. That was the fighter. So the fighter in return, an 8 misses. So we finally take Warsaw. Very bloody battle. The Poles put up quite the defense. So Warsaw is worth 1 IPP. So that'll put us up to 15. And Warsaw falls to 2 artillery, 3 cavalry, and 1 infantry. Okay. So that is it. Mercifully, that is it for combat. Okay, so on to non-combat. So we got to fly our planes back. So the planes that are in southern France won a total of 2 spaces. Okay, they came down from Bavaria, 1, 2. So they're going to go 3, 4, 5, and land in West Germany. All of them, the 3 fighters and the tactical bomber, because they were coming from an airfield. So they had that 1 extra movement. Okay. We are going to non-combat move. The infantry in Berlin is going to come over 1 to West Germany. So is the air transport and the paratroop are going to come over. And then we get to reconfigure. Now, I did read this. You can move units after the fall of France into Paris that are in the surrounding French territories. So we are going to move 4 self-propelled artillery from Aquitaine, 2 medium armor from Aquitaine, 2 self-propelled artillery from southern France, and 4 medium armor from southern France, all into Paris. The 2 light armor, 1 in Aquitaine, 1 in southern. Well, actually, I'm creating Vichy, so I've got to move that medium armor out as well. So, or the light armor. So that light armor will go to Paris as well. So the only thing that'll stay is the 1 light armor in Aquitaine. Okay. And then, as far as Spain, we are going to do some non-combat moves. So we're going to move our transport down 1 to C-zone. Everything's dead has covered it. A35. We're going to move 1 infantry from Basque Country to Galicia and Leon. 1 is going to move over to Catalonia. And the cavalry is going to move into Madrid. And the infantry in Madrid is going to move down to Eastern Andalusia. And I'm definitely going to do a recap for everything here at the end of this turn. Okay, so that, I believe, is it for non-combat. So we've got, since we're creating Vichy, we got to go ahead and roll for the remaining French territories and all the ships. So I've got that flipped to the part in the rule book. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick. So French dominions. Let's take a look and see. Okay, so first, let's go with the Vichy. We'll do the Navy first. So for each French naval unit in port, which there isn't any in port, so we can skip that. So for every other French naval unit on the board, a 1 through 3, it joins the Allies and becomes Free French. 4 through 6, it's scuttled and removed from the game. 7 through 10, it's Vichy, and we move it to M1. And in 11 or 12, it joins the Axis. Replace it with a German equivalent, or a Japanese if it's in the Indian or Pacific Ocean. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. So in the English Channel, we've got a sub, a destroyer, and a battleship. So let's go ahead. Let me grab a dice tray here. Probably should have been more organized with this. Let's move this out of the way. I'm making a big mess. Okay, so first we'll do the submarine. So let's see what we get. The sub is a 2. Join the Allies. Cool. Okay, so I'm not sure where Hambone would want that, but we're just going to put it over here in C zone A21 for now. Okay, so the destroyer next. A 4, and that is scuttled. And then the battleship. A 2. Again, another free French. So this isn't going so good. Okay, so how about this transport down in M1? An 11, that becomes German. So that can be put in a territory with in a home territory where a port is. So if it can be allowed, I'm going to put it here in C zone A12 with the ships that I've got there. Okay. It doesn't say that it has to sail to the nearest port, or does it? Let's just double check real quick. Placed immediately in a sea zone adjacent to their home country, representing these ships having sailed under the French flag. Okay, so it doesn't say that it has to be in the nearest zone with a port. So I'm going to put it there in A12. Okay, so let's see, what else do we got? We got some ships here in the Mediterranean. We got transport, 2 subs, torpedo boat destroyer, a couple destroyers, a cruiser, and a battleship. So let's go ahead with that transport first. A 1. So that becomes free French. So I'm just going to put all the free French ships up here. Hambone can decide what to do with them later. Okay, then we got 2 submarines. And a 3 and a 4. They're both scuttled. So let's take them off. Okay, so now we've got 2 destroyers. A 4 and a 5. And they're both scuttled. Okay, a torpedo boat destroyer. That becomes free French. Wow. Okay, our cruiser there. A 4, that's scuttled. That was almost a 2. Okay, and then finally the battleship. Come on, let's get a good one here. An 8. I think that becomes Vichy. Vichy. Okay, so the battleship is Vichy. That goes right there. And I believe that is it for ships. Oh, we got the build queue. So let's see what it says about the build queue. Okay, so 1 through 7 scuttled, 8 through 10 Vichy and stays on the build queue, 11 through 12 replaced with a German equivalent. So we've got, I believe we got a battleship at stage 3. I know that. So let's do the battleship. A 2, that's scuttled. And then we've got, it's either a cruiser or destroyer at stage 2. A 1, that's scuttled. So it doesn't matter. They're both scuttled. Okay, so that takes care of the ships. So now on to territories. So let's take a look here. Okay, so for French dominions, Guyana and St. Pierre Islands become free French. For any other French offshore dominion, roll a d12. So 1 through 6 is Vichy, 7 through 12 is Free French. And some of them are grouped together here, like Anna Tonkin, Cochinchina, so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead. The first one is in the Pacific, and if this goes Vichy, it's Japanese. Okay, so let's roll for that. And a 1. So those all become Japanese. So Anna Tonkin, Cochinchina, Gambier Islands, and New Caledonia are all Japanese. So I didn't get any roundels out, so I'm just going to put this Japanese one from Siam down there for now, for me to remember that. Okay, so next we've got French Somaliland, Madagascar, and Reunion. So that is, let me get this out of the way real quick. That is down here. There's Reunion, Madagascar, and French Somaliland. I dropped one of my infantry. Hang on a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll for that. And a 3. So that becomes Vichy, which in essence is German. Germany gets to collect the money. So Madagascar is worth 1 IPP. So Germany will go up to 16 there. Okay, so next up we've got northern, western, and southern Algeria. Okay, so let's go ahead with that. And a 4. So that again is Vichy. So northern, southern, and western Algeria. So we've got 1 IPP there. So we're up to 17 for Germany. Okay, next up is, I don't know how to pronounce the first one, but it's French Guinea, French Sudan, and Ivory Coast. So it's this territory and these ones right here. So let's go ahead and roll for those 4. And 3, that again becomes Vichy. So we're definitely making up for the ship. So those all down here, they're not worth anything, but they're all Vichy. And then we got Dahomey, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and however you pronounce this one. So 5 more, and they're not worth anything. So let's roll for that. And a 3, that also becomes Vichy. So I'm not sure what becomes of this French Foreign Legion. I know in version 3 that if he's in a territory that you roll for and it goes Vichy, he keeps moving to another French territory until he's out of room. And everything went Vichy down here. So if the same applies, I would assume he's eliminated, but I'm not sure about that. Okay, so what else is left? We didn't do Tunisia, French Morocco, and Syria. I think those are the only 3 that are left. Okay, so let's go ahead and do French Morocco first. And a 7, that becomes Free French. Okay, how about Tunisia? A 9, that becomes Free French. And then Syria, a 1, that's Vichy. So again, I'm not sure what happens to this infantry. That's worth $1. So that's up to 18 for Germany. Okay. So the Free French got 2 territories, Tunisia and French Morocco, I believe, out of that. So that is it for the Vichy. Place units. So we have got an infantry that we can place in Berlin for winning the Spanish Civil War. We've got the militia upgrade in East Germany. And then we've got, we're going to put, okay, let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, we've got a transport plane and a paratrooper. And we're going to put both of those in Berlin. And then we've got 4 infantry that we're placing in West Germany. Okay. I did forget one non-combat move. Hopefully it's okay. I was going to move these 2 ships here from A46, 1, 2, 3, down to A53 and join those 2 subs there. So hopefully that's okay with the guys. It's been quite the video. Okay, so now we can align one of the countries in Southern Europe. So we're going to go ahead and align Romania now that France has fallen. So I get to replace all those units with German, and Romania is worth a total of 3. So that puts us up to 21 IPPs. Okay. So let's do our recruitment roll for Spain. So we need a 6 or less here, and an 8 misses. So nothing there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Germany should have went up 21 IPPs. So that jumps them from 24 to 45. Okay, so 45 IPPs. We spent everything we had last turn. So we collect 45. The French had 10, so we get their 10 for taking Paris. So that's up to 55. And then let's go ahead and look at bonuses real quick for Germany. Okay, so 55. And Sweden is neutral, so that's +3. So that's 58. We possess all of Romania, that's 3. That's 61. And I'm announcing the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact has been signed. So that's another 5. So that's 66. So Germany should have 66 IPPs to spend on turn number 8. So that mercifully brings my turn to an end. Hopefully no mistakes. I got a lot of cleaning up to do here on the board. So let me know if anything has been screwed up. I'm going to double check this video, and before I post it, make sure it's good to go. But hopefully no mistakes, and we'll see you guys on Italy 7.7.